Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of The Risk Rewarded. During today's episode, I will be going over how to prepare for when you're having a teenage driver. There are also going to be certain aspects of the video that may or may not benefit having your teen watch themselves, as they should know the impact that they have when they're driving on your policy or in one of your vehicles. First off is the easiest way for them to help minimize cost before getting their actual license. If all possible, if they could maintain a 3.0 or better in school, that will significantly impact premium going down the line and actually will set them up for success in life. I realize that each situation is a little bit different, and some people doing their best is not a 3.0. It is a reality of life. Not everybody can do so, but if it's possible, it is a good incentive for your child to earn driving privileges. And that tails to the topic of driving privileges. Driving is not a right. A lot of kids may feel entitled to drive, or parents feel that they may fail if they don't allow their kids to drive. We're in the unfortunate reality of it's very expensive for teenagers to drive, and it is not designed to be affordable for everyone. Many times, just on a liability-only vehicle, it's $200 or more per month just to list your teenager as a driver. The key things that your kids should have in mind before they get licensed is understanding the financial impact that they have preparing. If they have a job, they should save up a minimum of $3,000 before getting licensed. In my opinion, this helps them build the responsibility to succeed in life and prepare for it when they get their own insurance after they turn 18. Usually, we don't recommend kids get their own policy until they move out at whatever stage that is. Most of the time, it is cheaper to be on your parents' policy until you're around 22. A good way for parents to set their children up for success, though, to make their premiums more reasonable for when they have to get their own policy, is potentially opening a credit card in their name when they're 13 to 16, depending on what is allowed. You don't actually have to give them the card. It's just to establish credit for them, because credit plays a major impact on what your insurance rates are. Another thing that virtually every kid should do before getting licensed or after getting licensed, it's possible to do it afterwards, is take a driver's ed program. Not only does this significantly impact the premium that you pay each month, it also puts them in a situation where they are learning to drive from somebody that is an instructor rather than you. Not saying that parents are good or bad drivers, but somebody whose role it is to be an instructor typically could do a better job on instilling good driving habits for your teenage driver. The new thing that's came up recently, specifically in Missouri with new legislation, is that you can't drive while using your phone. I know when I was growing up, that was one of my worst habits, was using my phone while driving. Luckily, I never had any accident because of it, but I realize now as I've gotten older that was a huge risk and not worth it. In general, it's better to learn patience rather than always being in a hurry. Saving 5-10 minutes or feeling the need to respond to something right away is just not worth it. when you enter the vehicle, only focus on one task, and that's when you're going from point A to point B, as it will prevent harm to you or others, and no risk is worth a couple of minutes. Now back to areas that parents need to be aware of if their kids are put in this situation. If your kid ever gets a speeding ticket, you will want to try to get it fixed. Or any type of moving violation that's points on the license, you will want to get in touch with an attorney and see if you can get it expunged, as it will cost you significantly more if you allow that on their record, and it can impact them permanently if they get more than one violation. The other aspect of driving is understanding what mindset your kids are at that stage of life. They need to be ready and resilient for day-to-day stresses, as everybody has experienced some sort of odd situation of somebody driving recklessly or rageful driving and certain aspects like that. It is something that they haven't experienced in life yet, so putting them in tougher situations in life where it's higher pressure is a good idea in general before they get behind the wheel, as this will prevent them from making costly mistakes that could debilitate or even kill them, as that's one of the top reasons of loss of life for younger people. Inevitably, many teenagers will get into a car accident. Typically, it is not a major one, but a majority of teenage car accidents are them backing into somebody. The thing that they need to keep in mind is that one incident can make it completely unaffordable for them to drive. So they need to have it instilled in their mind that they can't actually make a mistake at this point, as it could cost $500-600 or more per month for them to continue to drive after that accident. So the biggest thing is preventing that from ever happening. Always to double check each mirror or backup cameras and stuff of that nature. Speaking of backup cameras, what is a good first car for your teenage driver? It's typically not a beater or something that is cheap. If at all affordable, I recommend getting a more reasonably priced mid-size sedan. They will be cheaper for them to insure and have many of the safety features that will keep them safe and prevent them having minor accidents. Automatic braking, backup cameras, collision sensing, and stuff of that nature will take over and prevent many preventable incidents and save probably more money than the vehicle cost up front in the long run. It's a long-term investment, but safety is always beneficial for any aspect, and it's an investment in their life in general. A good additional discount that is optional that I do recommend. I realize that there will be some privacy concerns, as there is a lot of data collected from telemetric devices, but it is a good idea to do a program, if your company allows for it, like We Sell Progressive. They offer Snapshot. That is a cell phone app or a plug-in device that basically monitors how many miles you drive, what times of day you drive, how quickly you start or stop. The last time I checked, they would ding for if you accelerated 7 miles per hour in 1 second. That can be braking or turning too quickly, because that's a form of acceleration. It will also monitor if you use your phone at all, if you have the cell phone app. I've had it on my device for over 2 years at this point. I'm going to pull up my results and show it to the camera shortly so you can have an aspect or idea of what it is. Most people, though, I mean, you have to pay attention to it. You have to make sure that it's not counting drives that are not you and stuff of that nature. As you can see, I've had 12,996 miles driven, 802 trips, and I have a 5 out of 5 star. If you can see that, but I'm also not as concerned about being tracked by things, as I realize every aspect of my life is monitored by some sort of company at this point. So I just dive into the exception that companies want my data and will sell it, and I'm accepting the decrease in my insurance premium by accepting that discount. This is the end of the episode. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys got some good advice from it. If there's anything else that you would like me to go into more detail, feel free to comment. I may respond with an answer or a follow-up video in the future. If you could also subscribe and hit the bell, I will have more topics going forward. Episode 3, I do plan on going over what to do when involved in specific home insurance claims and go over each aspect of that. Other than that, I hope everybody has a great rest of their day.